What up, my dudes? Hey, boys, we're spitting out these videos back to back to back to back to back. So if you don't have the notification bell turned on for my channel, you're probably not even going to get half of the notifications. So just letting you know, I'm going to be uploading a lot more here. So, okay, listen to what I'm saying, all right? Because I think I've got this whole thing figured out about this new MXGP 2020 game. I really tried to sit down and figure out, with watching the trailer and, you know, all the features not really being new features other than the actual, you know, elevation track editor thing, right? Everything else is not even really a new feature. I'm like trying to put all these things together, trying to figure out what the hell's actually going on here, right? And I think I've hit it. I've hit the nail right on the head here. Okay, so what this new MXGP 2020 game is going to be is a next-gen milestone dirt bike game, okay? It's not going to be a new milestone dirt bike game. You understand what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? It's not really going to be a new milestone motocross game. It's just going to be a next-gen milestone motocross game, right? So this is going to be on the new consoles. So you got to understand what I'm saying to a deep level, right? A lot of the quote-unquote new aspects to this game and new features to this game is really all in the next-gen type, you know, features to it, right? Which means it's not really going to be that much newer, like different of a game than what you've had from previous milestone games. It's just going to have better graphics. It's going to have, you know, resolutions to 4K, better performance, you know, better optimization. It's going to have more stuff like that than it is like real game change, you know, track design changes and physics changes. I just don't think you're going to see a lot of that kind of stuff, or they would be showing it, right? If you go on their website, you go to their features tab, you literally scroll down through here, the first thing you see is career mode. We've already had that. That's not new, right? Then you scroll down to the height map based track editor, which is going to be probably just a elevation clicker for like 4 different quadrants on your custom track. Like, you know, you can click like, you know, 3 up or 3 down in 4 different quadrants on your track to make sort of little hills and mountains, but I don't think the track editor is going to be nowhere near as wide open and as extensive as what it might can seem like, right? But in all reality, that's really the only new feature on their whole website is the, you know, the elevation to their track editor. Because if you scroll down, it just says the next thing is new playground. Okay, that's not a new thing. Like you expect a free ride track in a AAA modern day motocross game. Okay, they make a whole like area of that as like a new feature type thing on their features page, but in reality, that's not a new thing at all. We've been getting a playground, a compound in these games for years now. That's not a new feature at all. Then you scroll down, it says waypoint mode. We already have waypoint. That's not a new feature, okay? None of that is a new feature. Then you scroll down, it says dedicated servers for multiplayer. Again, that's not a new feature. We just had that in Supercross 3. So then you scroll down a little bit more and, you know, it goes into race director mode. We already have that. It goes into co-op in the playground. Again, we already have that. None of these things are new features. I don't know why. So the more you dig into this, you start to realize there's not really a whole lot of new. The only real new thing, I'm straight up, the only new thing that they're showing on their website, actual new feature to their game that they've never had in a milestone game before, is the elevation to the track editor and the 4 different terrain types to the track editor. That's it. That is literally it. Everything else on their website is shit that we've already had before. So when you scroll all the way down to the very bottom, okay, this is where you get to the area of the website that says jump to the next gen, right? It says, and find the features for the new consoles. Okay, let me read down through these particular features under this next gen area of their website. Okay, it says highest resolution up to 4K, best performances and gameplay experience, DualSense support, lightning fast support, reduced loading times, and then here at the very bottom it says increased number of bikes per race in multiplayer, right? So these are all those features that, you know, have been very limited and or like weird because of the older consoles, right? We've all of us have wanted more, you know, more bikes in the multiplayer, being able to have more than like whatever the standard, whatever it is. It's a small number. I don't know if it's like 12 or whatever currently, but you can't have like the normal amount of dudes that would be on a supercross gate or a motocross gate for damn sure in a multiplayer race because of the console limitations. So it says increased number of bikes per race in multiplayer. So now I'm starting to kind of realize what's going on here with this whole game, right? I think they delayed it because they're realizing they're having to kind of make it around the newer consoles now, and everything that's going on in 2020 obviously probably didn't help the case either. So that's kind of delaying it a little bit. And I've heard a couple of guys saying maybe the game will turn out a lot better because of that, because it wasn't technically delayed. Let me not get it twisted with the words that I'm saying. It's coming out, you know, 4 or 5 months later than it normally would, later than it has been in the previous years. They didn't actually delay anything, okay? They might have delayed it internally, right? But they didn't like come out with the trailer and then have to delay it. They didn't do any of that. So, but it's coming out a lot later than it normally would be, which means they would have more time to work on it than they normally would with their, you know, MXGP games from the time they make their Supercross games. So, I don't know, man. This is interesting, but I think in all reality, that's what this game is really going to turn out to be. I don't think it's going to be a crazy different physics system. I don't think it's going to be really different like track designs or pre-made ruts or pre-made big old outside berms. I don't really think the track editor is going to be all that much different. Certainly not as much as what they're claiming, what they're kind of making it look like. I really just don't think. I mean, choosing between 4 different terrain types, you damn near could do that with the 19's track editor in a way, because you could like put the track on 4 different kind of areas. You know, you could put it on the tropical area, then you could come over and put it on like a standard woodland area. So in a way, they almost had 4 different terrain types, but I guess they mean, you know, what I'm hoping they mean anyways with the 4 different terrain types is like every single module piece in the track editor can basically be like switch between 4 different dirt types, right? So like sand, hard packed, normal dirt, you know, whatever, loose, loamy, or clay, you know, 4 different terrain types. So we'll see how that all comes together. I just hope they have, and you know, I know some people are getting the idea that it's not even going to be like a pre-made module piece style track editor. It's literally going to be build the entire track from height map. I really don't think it's going to be like that. Right? If it was going to be like that, I promise you they would have literally showed that on their website on the features page. They wouldn't have just said, use the height maps to create the track of your dreams in a realistic way through hills and mountains, okay? They didn't come in here and say, build your entire jumps from the height map, build your ruts and build your berms from the height map exactly how you want to. There's no more pre-made pieces. They didn't mention any of that. Right? And I promise you they would have if the track editor was really going to be like that. So this whole height map basically the only real new feature to this MXGP 2020 game is really just going to be an elevation adjusting thing. I really don't think it's going to be as extensive as what some people are thinking it's going to be, right? And this whole like new playground thing, I mean, that's just like normal. Like it's on a standard woodland, 1 free ride track. It doesn't look like we're going to be getting multiple free ride tracks like what you would expect in a AAA motocross game, like what you had in Reflex. You had 3 full-blown free ride tracks. Don't even make me have to go back to the Unleashed days where you had like literally like fucking 15, 20 different free ride tracks. Don't even make me go back to that, but looks like we're just going to be getting 1 playground, 1 free ride track again, but it's just so bizarre. Like, you really need to go to their website and look at what I'm looking at, because when you click on their features, go to MXGP 2020 website, click on the features, and you will start to realize all of these different, like, you know, areas of this features page, career mode, hype mask-based track editor, new playground, waypoint mode, dedicated servers for multiplayer, all that crap. Most of that is just not even new stuff at all. So I'm just confused at why they're putting it like that. Because obviously if they had actual real new features, that would be in the place of these features that we already have, right? Dedicated servers, we already have that. Waypoint mode, we already have that. Like, what? So then you scroll to the very, very bottom. That's when you see that jump to the next gen. That's what sort of made the light bulb go off in my head. Like, okay, I think I see what's going on here, right? This is sort of Milestone's next gen motocross game, but it's not really going to be a full-blown new Milestone motocross game, right? It's just going to be a next-gen game. It's going to be kind of like you probably took, like, somewhat of a mixture between MXGP 2019 and Supercross 3, and then you amped up the graphics, you put it on a new console, you know, that sort of thing. I think that's all it's really going to be. I don't think it's going to be a lot of real, like, physics developed, you know, more development to that. I don't really think the track designs are going to be all that much different. Maybe I'm going to be wrong, and I hope I'm going to be wrong, but in all reality, I really don't think it's going to be like that. I just don't. It's just going to be a next-gen Milestone game, not necessarily a new Milestone game. You see what I'm saying? So either way, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.